So, hi classmates, hi sir. I am Arlyn Trisha from BSE3, and for today's video, we have a topic for today, the cell. And as you can see on the screen, we have a group of people, group of animals, group of plants, and also the microorganism like fungi, bacteria, or something like that. So, first, we have here the cell. So, when we say cell, it is a basic structural, functional, and biological unit of all known living organism. So, when we say cell, it is all known living organism has a cell. So, yun nga, nakita natin kanina yung mga group of people, animals, and plants, and also the bacteria. So, they have a cell. And also, we have two types of cell, the eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. So, when I say eukaryotic cells, it is a cell that contains a nucleus and organelles, and it is enclosed by a plasma membrane. So, eukaryotic cells, ito yung cells na may nagko-contain ng nucleus at saka mga organelles na nakapaloob sa plasma membrane. At ito rin na yung multicellular organism that have a eukaryotic cells, included the protozoa, fungi, bacteria, plants, and animals. So, animals and plants are included in eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells contains a variety of structure called organelles, which performs various functions within our cells. So, we have here a diagram of eukaryotic cells. And next, we have a parts of eukaryotic cells. In eukaryotic cells, we have a nucleus. In nucleus, it contains the cell hereditary information and controls the cell growth and reproduction. So, hereditary, ito po yung cell na nanggagaling po sa ating parents, in father and our mother. Yan. That controls the cell's growth and reproduction. Next is the endoplasmic reticulum. In endoplasmic reticulum, we have two types of endoplasmic reticulum. We have a rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. When we say rough endoplasmic reticulum, it is primarily concerned with the synthesis, folding, modification of proteins, especially those need to be delivered to different organelles within the cell or secreted from the cell. The rough endoplasmic reticulum, or RER, it is called or also known as quality control. So, next is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. A smooth endoplasmic reticulum is largely associated with lipid or fats, manufacture, and metabolism and steroid production, hormone production. It also has a detoxification function. So, when we say smooth endoplasmic reticulum, ito daw po yung nag-a-associate ng fats na nagmamanufacture ng ating metabolism. So, when we say metabolism, ito po yung may kinalaman sa ating digestion and steroid production, hormone production. At saka ito rin po ay nagde-detoxify para sa ating cells. Yan, we have here the diagram of endoplasmic reticulum. Next is the Golgi Apparatus. The Golgi Apparatus receives biochemicals in a bulk flow. So, bultuhan, kumbaga, from the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So, yung Golgi Apparatus po, yung mga biochemicals na nanggagaling po sa rough ER ay kanyang nire-receive, kumbaga. It is the only organelle in the cell that receive, sort, modifies, concentrate, packs, and dispatches biochemical for use inside and outside our cell. Yan po yung kanyang function. Nagre-receive siya, nagsusorting siya, nagmo-modify, concentrate, pack, at saka dinidispatcha niya po yung mga biochemicals na nanggagaling sa loob at outside ng ating cell. Yan. We have here the diagram of Golgi Apparatus. Next is the plasma membrane or cell membrane. It is a boundary between the cell and its environment. Yung plasma membrane, siya po yung nagre-regulate ng pumapasok at lumalabas sa ating cell. Yan. So we have here the diagram, as you can see, the outside cell and inside of cell or the cytoplasm. Yan. Next is the microtubules. When we say microtubules, it is involved in mitosis. The microtubules are involved in mitosis, cell motility, intracellular support, maintenance of cell shape, and keep organelles in place. Yan po yung ating microtubules. Na-involve po siya sa ating mitosis. Mitosis is are phases in cell. Hindi ako nagkakamali. Next is the centrosome. When we say centrosome, it is an organelle that is the main place where cell microtubules are organized. Siya po yung main place kung saan ino-organize po ang microtubules. Yan. Nasabi ko na kanina na yung microtubules is nagme-maintain siya ng ating cell shape at keeps organelles in place. Yan. When we say centrosome, it is a main place kung saan ino-organize po ang ating microtubules. And organizing changes to the shape of the cell. Yan. Ino-organize din po niya yung ating cell shape. Yan. Membrane that allow the membrane to pinch into during cell division. Natatakal din po yung centrosome sa phases of the cell, the meiosis and mitosis. Yan, pumapasok rin po yung centrosome doon sa topic na po yun. Next is the ribosome. When we say ribosome, it serves the site of biological protein synthesis. Yan, yan po yung ating ribosome. They link together specific and amino acid to form polypeptides and they export this to the cytoplasm. So, when we say amino acid, may kinalaman po siya sa ating proteins. Yan, to form the polypeptides and they export this to the cytoplasm. Yan po yung ating ribosome. Next is the lysosome. When we say lysosome, it is an organelle that contains digestive enzymes. So, nagko-contain po siya ng mga enzymes sa ating digestive. They digest excess or worn out organelles, food particles, and engulf viruses or bacteria. Yan. They are like the stomach of the cell. So, when we say lysosome, it is also the stomach of the cell, which are involved in digestion and waste removal. Yan po yung ating lysosome. As you can see in the diagram, we have here the bacterium. Pumasok po siya sa ating cell, receptor, phagosome, lysosome, phagolysosome, and then outside, exocytosis, soluble debris. Yan, pag nakalabas na, pag pumasok po siya yung bacterium, pag lumabas po yung tawag natin is the soluble debris. Next is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a thick solution that fills each cell and is enclosed by the cell membrane. Yan. It is also composed by water, salts, and proteins. A framework of protein scaffolds called the cytoskeleton, it provides the cytoplasm, the cell, with their structure. Next, and it transport dissolved nutrients around the cell and move waste material out of the cell. So, ang cytoplasm din po, siya po yung nagtatransport palabas po ng mga nutrients na hindi naman kailangan natin or nagmo-move ng waste material out of our cells. That's what we call a cytoplasm. Next is the mitochondria. When we say mitochondria, it is referred as the powerhouse of the cell. It helps to turn the energy we take from food into energy that the cell can use. And also, it is also called a calcium storing. Yan. So, kuwari, example po dito, kapag kumain ka kagabi tapos hindi ka kumain ng umaga, ang ginagamit po, nagfa-function po ngayon ng ating mitochondria para magamit po natin yung energy. Ito po ba? Yan po yung example ng mitochondria. Next is the cilia. When we say cilia, are eyelashes-like structure, microtubule base, organelles that project from the surface of cells and serve both motile and sensory of functions. Yan po ang cilia. They are like an eyelashes. Yan ang ating cilia. The functions din nito, it is to move water relative to the cell in regular movement of the cilia. This process can either result in a cell moving through the water, typical for many single-celled organisms, or moving water and its content across the surface of the cell. So, importante rin po ang cilia sa ating cell. Kasi, the respiratory tract in human is lying in the cilia. So, yung ating respiratory tract ay nakalinya rin po sa cilia that keep inhaled dust, smog, and potentially harmful microorganisms from entering the lungs. So, yan po yung ginagampanan ng cilia sa ating respiratory, kumbaga. Next is the flagellum. When we say flagellum, it is a whip-like structure that acts primarily as an organelle of locomotion in the cell of many living organisms. Yan ang ating flagellum. It is a primarily motility organelle that enables movement and chemotaxis. Bacteria can have one flagellum or several, and they can be either polar, one or several flagellae at one spot. Yan po. So, bakit nga rin po importante ang flagella sa ating cell? Kasi po, providing motility is always an important feature of flagella, of pathogenic bacteria, but adhesive and other properties also have been attributed to these flagella. In non-pathogenic bacterial colonization, flagella are important locomotive and adhesive organelles as well. Parang ganon din po sa cilia. Microfilaments. When we say microfilaments, they have a roles in cell movement, muscle contraction, and cell division. And to make a cell move, one end of the actin filament stretches out, and while the other end pulls itself in tighter. Yan po, as you can see on the diagram, we have here a microfilament. Next is the prokaryotic cells. In prokaryotic cells, single-celled organism, they are simpler and smaller than eukaryotic cells, and lack membrane-bound organelles such as nucleus. So, ang meron lang din pong prokaryotic na included are the bacteria and archaea. Yan po. As you can see on our diagram, we have here the capsule. Capsule, this additional outer covering protects the cell when it is engulfed by other organisms, assists in retaining moisture, and helps the cell adhere to surfaces and nutrients. The source of nutrition when nutrient supply is low in cell. Yan po. And also the cell wall. Cell wall is an outer covering also, like capsule, that protects the bacteria cell and gives it shape. So as you can see po doon sa ating diagram, kung makikita po ninyo, mas outer pa po yung capsule kaysa po doon sa cell wall. Yan. Tapos sa loob po nun, yung ating, yung may plasma membrane ng bacteria. Next is the pili. When we say pili, it is a hair-like structure on the surface on the cell that attach to other bacterial cells. And pili are short hair-like structure on the cell surface of prokaryotic cells, and they can have a role in movement, but are more often involved in adherence to surface, which facilitates infections and is a key virulence characteristics. So, that's what our topic for today, the cell, and thank you.